What's your name?
Emma Beale.
Were you born in Alexandria?
I was born in Washington, D.C., but my parents have been here for 20 years and I've lived here my whole life, so basically.
If you could describe Alexandria in one word, what would it be?
I think I would describe Alexandria as engaging, just because there's so many opportunities for, particularly youth to become involved with their community and do different things. I think obviously for adults it's the same way. There's so many groups, there's so many organizations, there's so many, even, religious groups that you can become a part of and then, in turn engage other, citizens.
What's your opinion on diversity in T.C. Williams High School?
I think TC's diversity is one of its greatest strengths. I went to a private school from kindergarten to 8th grade, and obviously, there's a big push for diversity, and they talked about diversity a lot, and they wanted us to, think about it, but it just wasn't there, and so it didn't have the same effect. So I think, going somewhere where, TC's diversity is something you don't even need to point out, really. It's in the hallways, it's in the classrooms, people you meet. I think it's great because, you're meeting people from all over the world and that impacts you and, it just gives you kind of a different perspective on different cultures.
How has diversity in Alexandria impacted you?
Obviously, with TC's diversity, that's kind of, you think of it, racially and ethnically, but the other thing about Alexandria is, it's diverse socioeconomically. Obviously for much of Northern Virginia, people think of, wealthy suburbs. But I think a thing to consider is, Alexandria has that aspect to it, but it also has, a lot of poverty. So I think an important thing to consider, is, again, that is another perspective. Some people have, enough food, they have, housing, they have transportation. Those necessities are not problems. Those things are not issues. But for some people they are. So, that goes into what policymakers are thinking. Well, what local government officials are trying to do to help, even the odds and make sure everyone has the same opportunities and the same resources.